Deadbolt Sports here, coming at you with the college football preview for this week from the Deadbolt Studios at the Ramblin Gamblin Sports Network. Coming off a 9-4-2 week last week. Really like this card. We've got quite a few plays. I know a lot of you may not be able to play all these plays, but you can use your discretion here. The ones that you like yourself, go along with. It is quite a few. I do understand people's bankroll might be limited. Anyway, and also be sure and follow us on Twitter. You can hit me up in the DMs if you want some more specifics on different games. If you want to know maybe a couple of games that I like better than others, I'll try to go through these, give you as much information as I can as I go through. But anyway, I love interacting with people. Don't hesitate to hit me up in the DMs. Be sure you're subscribing to the Ramblin Gamblin Network and you like our videos, so we know that you're out there, you're paying attention. But anyway, we'll get right into this college football preview. First up on this Friday night, BYU, Louisiana Tech. We're going to back BYU here. 23.5 is the number this morning. Get this 24 below, guys. Don't chase this if it gets to rolling 25, 26, 27. I feel comfortable. We're at about 30.5 is where we've got this pegged for a line. So we kind of like, we're trying to get 6 points spread here. Kind of gives us a little leeway. So 24.5 is really going to be my max here on this one if it starts running up. But again, hot number is 24. So if you can get under 24, which is where it is now, go ahead and grab it for Friday night. Next up, Tennessee and Missouri. We're going to back. We're going to back Missouri here. Right now, getting 11.5 this morning. We've got this at about Tennessee is about a 2-point favorite, so we're getting quite a bit of value with Missouri here. So take Missouri plus the points. Next up is we're going to take West Virginia at home against Baylor. We're going to fade the public here. A lot of public consensus on Baylor. So we're going to fade the public here and take West Virginia at home against Baylor, getting 3 this morning. Next up is going to be Arkansas State against Coastal Carolina. We're going to back Arkansas State here on the road. We've got Arkansas State at around a 10-point favorite. Number this morning is 3.5. So again, some good value there. Take Arkansas State here, minus the points. If you're lucky enough to get it down to 3, I think you'd be even better off. But 3.5, 4.5 is fine. Next up, Pitt at home against North Carolina State. We're going to back Pittsburgh here. Again, Pittsburgh, much better team at home than on the road. Should get the cover here easily. We've got them at about a 3-touchdown favorite. Right now they're giving 2. So again, we've got a good bit of value here. Again, try to get that 14. Don't pay up too much above 14. That number actually came down a little bit, so you should be able to grab 14 out there. Hopefully won't move too much before Saturday. Next up, UAB against Texas San Antonio. We're going to back UAB here, minus 20.5. Again, 21 or below here. Don't chase this thing. We've got a little tighter window here. Now that it's moved, it opened at 18.5. But 18, 19, 20, as far as numbers go, not that big of a deal. But again, get this thing under 21 or below. We got UAB winning by about 4 touchdowns. Next up, Alabama, Texas A&M. A lot of interest probably in this one. We're going to back Texas A&M plus the points. We've got Alabama about a 10-point favorite, 17 this morning. Again, we've got about a touchdown of value in here. Try to get at least 17. Again, we talked about numbers. 17 or more here would definitely be the play. Next up, Oklahoma State, Kansas. Again, we talked about Kansas is just a terrible football team. And we're going to keep fading them until they move these numbers up to where there's no value left. So far, this may be the last week, but Oklahoma State, we're going to back them minus 21. We've got Oklahoma State at about a 31-point favorite. So we're going to back Oklahoma State here minus the points. Next up, Kansas State, Texas Tech. Both coming off two wild games last week. Kansas State comes back from a couple touchdowns down to beat Oklahoma at home. Texas Tech blows a 2-touchdown lead against Texas to lose in overtime. Again, this is a fate of the public. Also, I think Texas Tech coming off an in-state rival, blowing that lead last week. Not sure where their focus is going to be having to go on the road this week. Kansas State, lots of confidence at home here. Right now, Kansas State's -2. Excuse the cat in the background. He came to say hi to everybody. But take Kansas State minus the 2 this morning. We've got Kansas State about an 8-point favorite, so we've got a good bit of value here. 3 or below on this one, guys. Next up, Cincinnati against USF. Cincinnati, we went against them last week, and they were able to get the cover against Army. It's a pretty good football team, especially at home. It's a tough place to play. I know without the fans, it's a little bit different, but so we're going to back Cincinnati minus the points, 21.5 this morning. If you can get that at 21, that'd be even better. We've got Cincinnati at about a 30-point favorite here, so we got a little bit of leeway. Wouldn't play this one above 24. It's liable to run there, but 21 would be better, but no more than 24 here. Next up, Virginia Tech and Duke. We'll take Virginia Tech minus 10.5 this morning. Right now, we've got them at about a 3-touchdown favorite, so you got a good bit of value taking Virginia Tech minus the points against Duke. Next up, Florida Atlantic against Charlotte. We'll take Florida Atlantic minus the points. Right now, they're -7 points. We've got them at about a 17-point favorite, so again, good bit of value here. We'll take Florida Atlantic minus the points against Charlotte. Next up is going to be Mississippi State and Arkansas. Mississippi State coming off that big win. We had them last week against LSU, coming off that big win against LSU on the road. Arkansas somehow playing tough with Georgia in the first half, and then things kind of got corrected there at the end. We nailed that one. We said 24-25. Arkansas should be the underdog, and they lost by 27, so I had a pretty good handle on that one. But we're going to take Mississippi State. We've got them at a 4-touchdown favorite here. They're just a better team. Arkansas on the road, I see giving them no chance. I know State may have a little bit of a letdown here, but I still think just too much talent at home here not to cover the 18 this morning. So we'll take them. I think you're safe taking them up to 21. Don't know that I'd chase after that. Oklahoma and Iowa State. Looking for Oklahoma to bounce back here. 7-point favorite against Iowa State on the road. Iowa State's just not a good football team. Not sure why they were ranked preseason, but they've shown they're just not a good football team. So we're going to fade them and take Oklahoma minus the 7. We've got Oklahoma in about a 2-touchdown favorite. So again, we've got a little bit of value there. We'll definitely try to get to 7. It's out there. I'd grab it. I wouldn't go any more than 10 on this one. UCF minus 22 this morning. This one's running. So do not go above 24, as I feel like it would probably. UCF's always a favorite play of the public, so this one may continue to rise. We've got them in about a 30-point favorite in our number, so again, still some value there, but I wouldn't go above 24 on UCF minus the points against Tulsa. Next up, LSU against Vandy. Look for LSU to bounce back here. A lot of things they needed to work on after last week. Again, this is not the LSU team of last year. Don't fool yourself. But still a decent middle-of-the-road SEC team. I'd look for them to get a few things corrected from last week. Again, this is not Mississippi State. They're playing Vanderbilt. We've got them at about a 4-touchdown favorite right now. They're minus 20. So, again, 21. It's kind of the cutoff here. I wouldn't chase above there. If you can grab 21 or under on LSU, look for them to bounce back and get the cover against Vandy. I think a lot of people are looking at last week's game. LSU getting beat up pretty bad at home, and then Vanderbilt playing tough with Texas A&M. So I think a lot of people are, looking at maybe taking Vandy and the points at home. But anyway, we're going to back LSU here minus the points. Clemson and Virginia. Clemson is going to be overvalued all year. We're going to take our shots here against them when we see the opportunity. This is one of those. Virginia's a pretty good football team. For the ACC, they're getting 4 touchdowns. We've got them at about a 17-point underdog. So again, there's some good value here. 28 or over. I don't think you'd have any problem getting at least 28 or more. I think, again, another favorite of the public is going to back Clemson here. But take UVA plus the points against Clemson. Last play of the day here. This is a definite fade, and also bias from last week. I think a lot of people backed South Alabama. We did. A lot of other people did against UAB. So I think a lot of people are going to fade South Alabama this week based on that being a Thursday night game. A lot of people watched that game. Troy has played well so far this year. But we're going to back South Alabama at home. Again, another rivalry game. We're going to take South Alabama. It's 5.5 this morning. This could get 6 to 7, which would be even better. We've got Troy at about a 8-point favorite here. But we've got a system here to fade the public. A lot of public money coming in. We've got a fade on Troy here, so we're going to back South Alabama at home plus the points for the final play this week. Again, be sure you're following us on Twitter. If you got questions, I'd love to interact with people. Come shoot me a DM if you'd like. Be sure you're subscribing to the channel so you know when we put these videos up. We just put up a Deadbolt Daily for the Major League Baseball playoffs. So be sure you're checking those out every day as we go through the playoffs. And we'll be back with you later this week with our NFL preview, where we had a pretty good week in the NFL as well. So doing great in college football. We're doing great in MLB. Be sure you're checking these videos out every day.